Movie review: Nora'S Lover, written and directed by Bolaji, produced by Esther Akapo and executively produced by H. Jumbo. With a runtime of 1 hour 52 minutes, the film chiefly features Bolaji, Ogunmola, Michael Dappa, and Adara Yuko. Synopsis: Grace Bolaji Ogunmola, a former banker, is married to Collins Bobby, who is now a pastor. A full-time housewife, Grace is constantly plied by Deaconess Ibi Adara Yuko. Her husband Collins, deeply engrossed in church activities, neglecting his conjugal duties, Grace decides to let out her alter ego, naming it Nora. The question begging for answers: what does she do? Throwing caution to the wind, Grace decides to have an affair with her late neighbor's nephew James Michael Dappa. What are the consequences? My take: straight up, I'm utterly disappointed, to say the least. I am fuming. From the storyline, to the plot, to the direction, to the costuming, to the makeup. Apart from its educational value of adopting the element of alter ego, which meaning many may not have been aware of prior, the rest is absolute balderdash in my opinion. And I'm not mincing words. Story, plot, the approach to storytelling and direction here is outrightly bland, tasteless. We have no background knowledge of the pastor, his wife, and their past love story. All we see is a pastor coming back from a supposed retreat or convention or whatever, wherever it was he went to for days, and next thing, he sets up a laptop for a Zoom church meeting with fake smiles, and next, he's talking down on his wife Grace. Why is he almost always so pissed at her? We don't know. Even if there's a slight hint, it holds no water. Should we talk about the Deaconess Ibi, who continues to trash talk the supposed pastor's wife, Grace? Like, what the actual heck was that? Where does that even happen? The temerity. Don't even get me started with the maid's disrespect towards the pastor's wife. Or was Pastor Collins also sleeping with her? Wait a sec. Was this movie meant to be comedy? How? I laugh at the very thought of that. The plot was annoying, even more so, its intended message. We'll come to that later. Please stick with me. Direction, execution. Now, if this was intended as a faith-based movie, it downright derails even more. Romans 6:1. Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? What happened to walking away from the marriage when Grace found out about her husband's lies, deception, and self-righteousness? I mean, she had the audacity to be seen in public with her lover with such impunity and reckless abandon. Right. Moreover, Grace and Nora herself never wanted any of the church thingy until later, in the end, after she had satisfied her alter ego. No consequences to her own action, nothing. So what does the movie preach? Title: the movie is titled Nora'S Lover. At first impression, the signal this sends to a viewer like myself before watching is that the movie would be mostly or partly centered around James being Nora'S lover. But no. His role was, however, unexplored and character left hanging. We only see him, with a camera, doing some photography, his only client, Nora, in his late auntie's house. I was expecting more from that character based off of the title. For how the movie ended, it's super underwhelming. I was hoping Nora'S lover would probably not give up easily, maybe a psychopath or something out of the ordinary. So why give it that title? Let's just say Grace's alter ego as a title would have been more befitting at the very least. Observations or questions? 1. Please make it make sense that for a movie which kept making references to a pastor and his wife, there was never a church scene seen throughout. All we saw was house fellowship and women meetings held in the pastor's house. 2. Why do script writers in recent times make it seem like all pastors starve their wives of sex when they supposedly turn to God? Same thing happened in MMI songs, A Million Mercies, Someone Please Educate Me. 3. Another element that is becoming rampant in Nollywood movies is couples having audio children kids we hear about but don't see. Only phone calls. Makawai. 4. Makeup and costuming. What was all those outfits and colors Deaconess Evie had on her nearly all through? A subtle reference to a mention of the executive producer's movie colors. That movie wasn't much of a success either. 5. Outcome a lesson? What message did this movie pass for crying out loud? Oh, that when a husband cheats, his wife should cheat back as a revenge and then boom. His senses will automatically come back. Yeah, right. Someone's taking notes. 6. Some cringeworthy plus eye-roll moments for me there on the couch with Nora'S and James frolicking. See, there's more, but let's just leave it here. Conclusion: given a very good casting, this had the potential to be interesting, but it failed to impress, wasn't compelling, engaging nor entertaining. Deaconess Evie's constant bickering and condescending attitude towards a supposed pastor's wife in her own house irked me so much. At the start, I thought she was Grace's mother or sister-in-law. I just wish the writer had not taken the church route. Perhaps I'd have been less upset. Well, at the end of the day, this may very well be someone's best movie of 2025 yet, but absolutely not my cup of tea. Had to just put a number to my score. Rating will be 1/10. Have you seen this? What did you think? Grace acknowledged that what she was doing with James was wrong and that's why she broke it off. It only happened because she was at a low point in her life, which is not an excuse, but she's human. If you go through the comments section of the movie, you would see some people who talked about the ordeals of being a pastor's wife. The true lesson of the movie is repentance and forgiveness. I agree that we could have seen a church scene, but it was still a nice watch. I don't know about the movie because I haven't watched it yet, but I'm talking about the work you're doing. You're grooming the future, making something out of a thing that's not yet widely accepted or known to Nigerians. Film critique and constructive criticism with an official site for it. Oh boy, you're a pro. Kudos, mama. You're setting the stage, the pace, and the future. Our future international critics are looking up to you. This year review no lie a beg. I watched it and realized the direction of the story no follow a beg. I will prefer to watch A Million Mercies than this movie. It was a waste of data a beg. I expected more from the writer and this was a flop. I think we are tired of this pastor-wife narrative they are pushing in Nollywood movies. I don't think all pastors' wives are starved to beg. We know they are not perfect, but this is not it. I tire for the movie. You see that Deaconess Ebe. It remains small, make I wipe and oremo cord for neck. What the heck was that? Who goes to people's houses disrespecting them like that, more so a pastor's wife? Honestly, you see that Deaconess Ebe part where she was always talking down on the pastor's wife. At first, I thought maybe the pastor was having an affair with her. If not, what will give a church member the audacity to come to the pastor's house and talk to the wife in such a manner? I was just angry while watching the movie. Thank you very much. I completely agree with everything you have written here. The movie lacked depth. We were not let in on what the relationship between the couple was like in the past. What is the reason for the husband's resentment towards the wife? The church? Why do they literally worship the pastor and despise his wife? The couple has not business reconciling. They would have gone their separate ways. I don't know what it is with Nigerian movies always giving us a happy ending. They have no business together. Because does Grace forgiving Collins now means she is willing to be a real Mummy Gio? Because the movie made us believe that she wasn't into the whole ministry thing. Just like you said, Nora'S Lover doesn't cut it as a good title for the movie since not much was said about him. It would have been a good title if more attention was given to him and his reaction after Nora went back to her husband instead of focusing on the church with no actual church building. What if pastor's wife are being sexual starved and this is a way of bringing it to the front? Remember, pastor wife are meant to be perfect and endure so they can't complain out. Not in the way it was portrayed here. It is not only pastors' wives that are being as starved. So what's with the obsession of this storyline? The sequencing is also poor. And what's with the cheat for cheat? It's a rather ridiculous idea for an attempt at addressing an already disturbing menace in an already morally bankrupt society.